Peace and blessings to you. Shabbat Shalom. Good afternoon to the 12 tribes of Yashrael, to the house of Yehuda. This is the day Yahuwah has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I just want to give honor and all praises to the Most High Yahuwah, our Elohim, our Elohim, for His grace and His mercy and His love and His kindness. I thank Him for discipline. I thank Him for correction. I thank Him for His grace, His mercy, and His forgiveness on my life. I thank Him because He is mighty. He is just. He's the King of kings and Yahuwah of all Yahuwahs. He is the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. The great I am. His throne sits on high, and He looks down on low. He is the breaker of men, and He is the builder of men. He is my solid rock, my foundation, my fortress, my shield, my buckler. Through Him, all things flows. He spoke this into existence. As I look around, I see the work of His beautiful hands. And I thank Him for peace today. A type of peace that surpasses all understanding. This is my diary. This is my testimony. So if it's a little emotional, because this is my healing journey. This is a life that's been renewed, that's been restored, because the hand He has on my life. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for His love. I'm thankful for His kindness. I humble myself before His throne. He gets all the praise and all the glory. It's been a long time since I found peace, a type of peace in the midst of this wilderness, when the whole world was against me. My testimony and my life deals with a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of deception, a lot of wickedness, a lot of enviness, jealousy, from my childhood even to this day. But you know, today is a better day than it was yesterday. Because the love of the Father, His love. I always wanted love, but I never felt the love like Him. I never felt the love like Him. I never knew what love was. I never knew what love could do. Love disciplines. Love corrects. Love don't pull no punches. Love doesn't leave you or turn their back on you. But as I can say, yes, He turned His back on us. I'm grateful for love. I'm grateful for His kindness, His grace, and His mercy. With him, I have no life because he gave me life. He knew us before we was conceived in our mother's womb, so he knows the thoughts of men. He knows our comings and our goings. He created us. He gave us eyes so we can see, and ears so we can hear. So he knows our thoughts. He knows us before we was conceived in our mother's womb. So I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful for his love and his kindness. When I was a child, I knew there was something that was so different about me. I didn't fit in anywhere. I was bullied. I was made fun of. I was chastised. I was belittled. Lied on me. I was beaten. I was sexually molested by family. The ones that's supposed to love you and care for you. I was beaten in-house and out-house. It's okay to be disciplined. You know, spare the rod, spoil the child. I do believe that. But what I don't believe in is torture. Oppression. Lies and deceit and wickedness. As a child, I see things that no one else could see. I remember I was in the church, a kid, forced to do things through my family, cousins, my brother. Maybe it was a generational curse. I don't know. This is my truth and this is my testimony, and I hope it, and I hope this will touch somebody's soul that is going through something, or experience things that I have experienced. But after going through something like that, I was in church one day, and just happened to see, while I was sitting in the choir stand, a vision. How I can explain it is that movie, The Devil's Advocate, with Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves. That painting, and you look at it, you see all those people that was living in sin, like their body was all moving, intertwined with one another. That, but they was in hell. And I couldn't understand. It terrified me. I can't explain it, but I knew it wasn't right. I was beaten every day. I was picked on every day. Nasty things, wicked things. that no sibling should do to a brother they're supposed to love and care about. I guess that's when my trauma started. Being accused of things that I didn't do. I'm supposed to look past the trauma and heal from the things that was done to me. I was supposed to be dead as a kid when my house got set on fire. My older brother set the fire and I ran out the house naked with no clothes on. Got bullied and picked on at school. When I tried to be a friend, be loved, I got left behind, because I daydream. I didn't fit in anywhere. I grew up in fear, terrified, was afraid. Had a lot of pain. A lot of pain. And I try my best every day to show love and give love and be accepted by the people who's supposed to love me. Nobody's perfect. We all fall short. Being the middle child, watching your older brother get to do whatever he want to do. He leaves, he's the hero of the family, regardless of things he done. I'm next up in line. I was oppressed. Maybe it's where my mom sheltered me or loved me or something like that. She didn't want me to go through what I went through. I don't know. I couldn't do nothing. I look at my cousins and my brother when they was in high school. Now they had girlfriends coming over their house and coming over to the house and stuff like that and everything. Brother had his own room and girlfriend. Mama allowed it. He in the military. I'm next in line. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't have a girlfriend. Couldn't have nobody. Had to be in at a certain time. I don't know if it's her way of protecting me, or she just didn't want me to be around people. I don't know. And I got to the point where I hated being in that house because of the restrictions. Then it came to a point after all of that, I graduated high school, leave, move in with my dad that raised me, come to find out. I just knew I was different because I knew I didn't look like my brothers and my dad that raised me. When I graduated, I left, went to go stay with my dad. He let me do anything I wanted to do for a whole year. Then after that year, either I had to go to college, go to the military, or went to trade school. I had to do something. So I decided to go to trade school. Went to barber school. Became one of the youngest barbers in Kansas City back in 1995. before that, you know, I grew up in the city, Kansas City, Missouri. Went to Van Horn High School my freshman, sophomore year. Played ball my freshman year. Basketball. I love basketball. Started skipping classes. I didn't play. Maybe I was heading down the wrong road. Maybe the signs of the times, you know, gangs started happening and stuff like that. You know, people selling drugs, you know, Crippin' Blood and folks, and, you know, whatever it was that was going on at the time. Maybe my mama was shielding me, but she remarried and moved to Independence, Missouri. Went to a school called William Chrisman, my junior and senior year. First time I ever experienced racism, but at the same time, my junior year I went out for basketball. I wasn't a tall person. I went out for basketball, and I was doing good. You know, the blacks that was out there, it was cool. They didn't treat me bad. But the coach and the assistant principal was racist as they threatened me. I was doing good. They thought I was a freshman. They was like, well, you're going to be starting freshman in JV? I said, no, I'm a junior. I'm going out for varsity. I'm dogging majority of their varsity players. But the other ones, man, you know, I was holding my own with them. But the ones he had on varsity, he was like, nah, this is my team. He was like, you gonna play what I want you to play? I decided, well, you know what? I ain't playing. Then the football coach wanted me to play football. And I was like, man, if I can't play basketball, I'm not playing football. So I just went to school. And in my mind, I was just like, okay. Met a girl, she played ball. I fell in love with women's basketball when Don Staley first started playing. When I see her play, and then when I was training with my with the girls' basketball coach, he was a football coach. Training with this one girl. But you know, long story short, you know, I couldn't have a girlfriend. I wasn't allowed to have a girlfriend. You know, couldn't have no company and stuff like that. Graduated, went with my dad, went to barber school. Then my baby brother got to do whatever he wanted to do. Girlfriend get to come over his house, he get to be over her house, and all that stuff. It was just, I thought it was just weird to me. Family dynamics and stuff like that, you know. Most High blessed me. He blessed me. Most people had to take their state board like 2 or 3 times. I did good. Last day of barber school was on a Saturday. Had an interview with this pastor that owned the shop. Started working with him that Tuesday. Making a lot of money. I was just living life and just enjoying myself. Living the ways of the world, going out to clubs, you know, smoking weed, drinking. But, you know, I was living my life. You know, I believed in the Most High. He never left me. I was too busy doing worldly things. But backtrack. Got in relationships that wasn't even meant for me. I wasn't equally yoked. Except for, you know, the girl that played basketball. You know, her family was in the church, gospel singers, stuff like that. So, whatever it was, it didn't work out. Got lied on. We hooked back up. You know, she was at a distance. I'm in Missouri. She's in Colorado. Consider her my friend. She wanted to be with me by the time she came back around from living in Colorado. Had a daughter. Had a daughter. I knew I had a daughter. I told her, like, yeah, you pregnant. She told me she wasn't pregnant. I just knew she was. I took her away from me after I had her. My daughter, only time she cried is when she was hungry. But when she saw me, the first time I heard, she smiled. And I just knew that was my daughter. I just knew she was mine. Took her away from me. Daughter was taken away from me. Got a phone call from my brother. She called and says, you need to call over there. Call over there, people crying. Somebody, one of her sisters said, oh, I'm sorry. And put her on the phone. She said she was gone. I think the DFS came and picked her up. She's like, nah, she's dead. And I was hurt. And I told her, when you make the funeral arrangements, let me know. And I'll pay for it. I had the money to pay for it. And if I didn't have the money, I was going to cover it. Her excuse was her first two kids' father was threatening to kill me, talking about, yeah, if I had something to do with it. That was the excuse I got. But I only had an obituary picture of her. Somehow, I don't know how that got lost. That's when I started doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing. I wasn't smoking weed. I had stopped. Then I chilled. I ended up getting engaged and stuff like that. This chick, she had a daughter. Didn't like the fact I had a daughter. But I got hooked on drugs when I found out my daughter died. Actually, I started doing things. But when my daughter passed away, I got hooked on drugs heavy. Smoked crack cocaine, drinking, hanging out in crack houses. Pain was too real. I was hurt. People mourn different. When you numb that pain, and when you don't have nobody to guide you on this physical earth, where all you knew was pretty much your identity was gone. Couldn't trust nobody. I really couldn't pour into anybody. And I really didn't want nobody to pour into me. I didn't seek my Heavenly Father. Off and on, drugged. Found comfort in getting high, numbing the pain. Going through it. Bringing shame to my family. Because I was hurt. I was lost. I don't know. Maybe because, it takes me back. All the pain that I had. Trauma. Low vibration. Whatever it was. I went through a lot. Suffered a lot. Running from my demons, not addressing the issues that I was supposed to be addressing. Wasn't dealing with this. Didn't know what was going on. I was engulfed in darkness, and darkness was engulfed in me. People using me, getting into debt with drug dealers, threatening to get killed. Every time I was addicted, lost my job cutting hair. They seen it. I wasn't doing good. So I ran to Alabama. Wanted to change my life. Running away for something. Started out good, got a job and everything. But where I was at was a racist town. Heard the nigga word, saying with people, talking down on me. Maybe they seen something, I don't know. But I dealt with racism, bigotry, hatred. Dealing with narcissistic people. Staying there. I go to a town where the blacks are, get my hair cut. End up staying there, getting hooked on drugs, dealing with prostitutes and all that stuff, and lost my job. Ended up getting locked up. Did like a year. Didn't have no bail, you know, a couple of lawyers, but one died, one got sick. Third one, then when I went through 5 lawyers, I was just sitting locked up. Nobody didn't want to mess with my case. So when they finally decided to give me a bail, my stepmother put up the money. My aunties didn't want to send me no money. My mama didn't want to send no money. But I got by. I became the union barber, cutting everybody's hair, blacks, whites, Mexicans. You know, he favored me. And the trouble I did see, I was prepared for it. Because I wasn't going to let nobody bully me. But I found favor. And I look back at it, it was like a Joseph moment. Met this guy, he looked like Lurch. And I met this one white kid. Dude was from Philadelphia, another dude was from Florida. He studied martial arts, and I studied martial arts. We would train, and we would talk and everything. And the guy from Philly looked like Lurch. He found favor and got to work and walk around the whole thing, but he remembered me. But let me tell you, when I was locked up and I found favor in there, we started a choir. Me and these brothers, old guy, this one guy I knew from the streets when I was in Alabama. And we recruited this white guy came in too. You know, we would sing songs that turned into gospel songs when the preacher would come there and stuff like that. And the warden heard about it. So we sung for him. And they liked it. So he was talking about, you know, he started this choir program, but he didn't pick none of us. And the guys he picked, they got to go around to different church. They got to left the place and go to churches and sing. But it never stopped us though. You know, we continued to serve. You know, we even though we was locked up, we had like a Paul and Silas moment. We had a Paul and Silas moment. That's why I almost got emotional because I was thinking about it. But at the same time, I had a Joseph moment in there too because the God sent for me. And remember, hey, let me backtrack. Before that happened, it was just one guy that wanted to fight me because I never seen these guys. I'm about 1,500 miles away from home in another state, locked up, got nobody coming to visit me, see me. These brothers get mad if somebody miss a visitation or a day, but the narcissistic people, I'm cutting everybody's hair. I'm making a list and stuff like that. This dude got mad because I didn't pick him before. It was these Hispanic guys in there, you know, and I was cutting their, you know, I go around and get people make a list and stuff, cutting their hair. You know, dude got mad, so he wanted to fight me. So I'm like, all right, I'm in my room. I'm like, they tell me like, oh, dude, want to get you out of here. I'm like, okay. So I go in my cell. I'm stretching, and one of the trustees, he looked in the room where I was at. He was, you know, they thought I was scared. I guess whatever happened, they moved that guy to another unit. All right. And the guy from Philly, he was already gone. He got a job in there. He was locked up where he worked. He got to move around the whole building, go outside and stuff. So, this is how the Most High works. I wasn't afraid of that dude. So, he had to go to court. And when they moved him to where all the killers, I mean, literally all the killers was. You know, rapists and the murderers and all this stuff. You know, he was on that wing. But he called and asked if I could come cut his hair. When they called for me to go over there, he apologized to me. And he told me, like, man, I was wrong. I apologize. I shook it off. I'm like, man, ain't nothing. Cut his hair, he went to court. But the guy from Philly, I was cutting his hair. I was giving him a Philly fade. We call it the Philly fade. And he sent for me. He remembered me. And I got to walk and go watch TV. I mean, he had his own pod, wherever we was at. He had his TV. I mean, they had the good stuff, the good food and all this stuff. And they found favor. I found favor. But at the same time, it was like, you know, when people go, when they get locked up, you hear these stories and stuff like that, but I was all right. In the midst of it all, I was okay. So, you know, come back, you know, went to court. They, you know, gave me 5. I was told I wasn't a good old boy. And everything. Is this, I remember when I was locked up, this guy came in. He was upset. He was pissed. He came from another camp. He had to go to court. This one guy, he was all right. To me, he was all right. I didn't know what he was. You know, you don't ask nobody questions about what they did. Come to find out, this dude was selling meth and drugs to kids in the school zone, and I didn't know that. But this guy, this Hispanic, I don't know if he was Native American or he was Hispanic. But when he saw the dude on the yard, dude had his fingers in his eye. He was getting ready to kill him. And everybody just didn't watch. And I pulled that dude off of him like, hey, dude, no. He had to go to court. He was going to kill that dude. He went to court. I seen him standing in this cage. He looked at me and was like, he just bowed his head and was like that. I don't know what it was. I don't know what happened. But I knew if he would have killed him, and being who he is, they probably would have killed that man. I don't know what happened, but they was like, man, why'd you get involved in it? I was like, man, no, I ain't gonna let nobody, no, that's not right. It is wrong. It is hateful. No, no, thou shalt not kill. You know. He was trying to kill him. I don't know what happened, how it happened, but he almost killed him. So, by me saying that, you know, I get 5. Did the rest of I got interstate compact, came back to Missouri and stuff like that. You know, 4 years. I wasn't, you know, I did right for a little bit. Then after that, next thing you know, our violator got sent back to Alabama and everything. So this is what happened to me. Go back. The judge looked at me like, man, you only had like a. I said, man, don't come back to Alabama no more. I finished the rest of my time. I EOS my sentence back in 2012. From 2007 to 2012. I was still out here in these streets, living a hot mess. Doing good, up, down, you know. Didn't know what my path was going and stuff like that, you know. Fast forward, got in relationships that I wasn't equally yoked with, you know. I lived in Texas, came back, and that's when I met my son's mother, through my baby brother. And she worked at the shoe place. I was getting shoes, and she brought me donuts. But I ended up falling for her, but I was trying to hide my addiction. Maybe she knew and stuff like that. I brought a lot of pain to her and stuff like that. You know, I felt disrespected too. You know, when you care about somebody, you don't, if you sincere about somebody, you don't put no other man above your relationship. Went through humiliation rituals, got talked about, got embarrassed, you know, wasn't equally yoked. Maybe because I can't say if I was in love with her or not. Lust with her, you know, I wasn't perfect. Went through a lot of things with her. But when I came back, I messed with her, you know, she was doing off and on stuff, whatever, we was off and on. She called me one day and told me she was pregnant. And she knew how I feel about kids because I told her how I felt. You know, when I work with kids, I work with youth. I believe in doing things for the people. You know, teaching our young kids. You know, kids always flock to me. Pictures of my son. She wouldn't name him after me. She wouldn't even put my name on the birth certificate, nothing like that. You know, it was between me and this other guy. I didn't care. To me, he was my son. She didn't want me to have nothing as far as like none of his information. By this time, I was working with the Boys and Girls Club. Had a son. And she was just me. When it come to him, it was her way or no way at all. I was just settling. Fast forward, you know, had witnesses, you know, my nephew. It's just long story. She just wanted to control everything. Wanted to control everything. If she didn't have control of it, she didn't want. If I had anything to do with it, she wasn't with it. But at the same time, he looked like me. Well, they say if you really, with a woman mad about somebody or thinking about somebody, the baby come out look like, I don't know, but I believe he was mine, off and on. I wasn't a good father. I was there and I wasn't there. But I was still having these demons and these issues I didn't take care of. So, I was working with the Boys and Girls Club. He was going to school. Fast forward. This one year, had him come to the house. I was like, spring break. Her parents are elderly. Health issues. My thing is, give your parents a break. He has a father. Allow me to let him stay with me for a week. He can go to the Boys and Girls Club, there's kids there. She didn't want him to go to the club because she had a bad experience there. And I'm telling him. So she let him, I was like, just let him experience it, then we talk about it later. He stayed with me. He had fun. He didn't realize kids in school was going to the Boys and Girls Club. So he met other kids and kids from his school, kid from his class. So he wanted to go. She was like, nah, I don't want him to go. You know, I got a chance to be a father, get to see my son on a daily basis, even though he wasn't living with me. And I couldn't understand why. We got in an argument. Slammed her door. I guess I messed her door. She called DFS and the police on me. They came to my house. Well, the house she used to live in. My mom lived next door. I'm at my mom's house. I see them come knocking on the door. I'm like, ain't nobody living there. Then they're like, well, we looking for this. I said, yeah, I'm here. Then I started telling them this is what's going on. And I was like, well, she's like, this is not the first time she called the cops on me. The first time she called the cops on me was about his information. I'm getting food stamps. You know, I'm working, I'm getting stamps, but I can't get, if I had his information, I could have got more. There would have been more money for me at the house, at her house, and at her mama's house. You can't lose. Saves her money. She didn't want me to have the information. Got into it about that. The next thing you know, years later, Boys and Girls Club. Call the police. You know. The first, I'm gonna admit this. My nephew and his girlfriend were saying, well, now his wife, and they got 3 kids. But he was there, and they witnessed it. First, my girlfriend, the girl I was dating, was there. She left because she didn't want to leave. And my son was in the bed asleep. And I'm talking to her about, you know, Social Security and all this stuff. I mean, you know, she's like, no. I was like, every time it comes something about him, something positive, you gonna shoot me down. So I told her to leave. She didn't want to leave without him. I said, I got one more day. So I grabbed her by her arm, opened the door, shoved her out. I ain't hit her or nothing. But she called the cops. The cops come knocking on the door. I got witnesses. I go outside. She crying, my baby, my baby. He didn't hear nothing. He didn't hear anything. He was sleeping. She ain't gonna leave until, you know, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and take it. Bow down. Maybe because I didn't stand my ground. I don't know what it was. Now fast forward, you know, last day of school. But anyway, after that, the Death Fest and stuff like that came, and I talked to them. They understood my side of the story. They were like, well, you was trying to just be a dad. And so I had him one day. We went to the store. So I decided to tell him, I said, before I die, I want you to know the truth about me. I don't want nobody saying anything bad about me without you hearing it from the horse's mouth. And I told him everything about me. Everything. When he was looking for me, I wasn't around because I told him I was on drugs. I told him about he had a sister and everything else that died. He told me one of the most beautiful things, and we both cried. He said, Dad, I don't care what nobody says about you. I'm always going to love you. It broke me down. It broke me down. But it was the most beautiful words that I ever heard in my life. I found somebody that loved me. And I prayed to my Heavenly Father. And I left and said, you take it. I can't do it. Last day of school, that boy came live with me. And I felt whole. We walked. He was enjoying himself. We had a routine. play outside and stuff like that. One of the kids, you come in the house, take a shower. While you take a shower, I'm cooking dinner. Went to one of his parent-teacher conferences and stuff like that. Kid's gifted. He's in the impact class. He's like in 3rd grade, taking 4th grade classes. Teacher said he's required to read 30 minutes a day from any book. I get the same email. So I had him reading the Bible because my boy, he used to have nightmares. And we used to say prayers, video chat all the time. And I'm like, Dad, I'm having nightmares and stuff. I said, won't you ask? I said, ask him to help you sleep peacefully at night. And he started sleeping, and his nightmares was going away. But when he was with me, he didn't have no nightmares. So, boy, that was fun. But he was missing his mom. Dad, can Mom come over? I'm like, yeah, come over. So he wanted to get out of the routine. I was like, that's one thing we're not going to do. Just because your mom's here, you're not going to get out of the routine. So I had him reading the Bible. She's going to try, I'm like, no, just because your mom here, you're not going to do it. So he started asking, I said, boy, get your butt in that shower. You've been playing all day, you smell. And she going to like, nah, he's required to read a certain book. I said, don't you come to my house and tell me that lie. I get the same emails you got. He's required to read 30 minutes from any book. I bought that boy a Bible. She didn't want him to have a Bible. So I told her, I was like, you don't want me controlling your house, your mama house. So I'll be damned if you come in my place and try to run this thing. She gave me a smirk. Now I think about it, the first time she called the cops on me, when she got him back, when he was a baby, she had gave a smirk. Yeah, I got your ass. Excuse me, Heavenly Father, cuss. So I told her, like, if you don't like it, you can get out. She gave me a smirk. He had to go to a birthday party. Now this boy living with his grandma every day. I got him for the summer. Go this guilt trip. Well, your grandma misses you. She wants you to come and this and that, whatever and stuff. Guilt him, he's just like me. His emotions just like me. I see the characteristics of him. I see my characteristics in him. He gets sad. He gets lonely and stuff like that. He loves people. He loves to help. I had to teach him about not everybody's going to be your friend. But you see somebody getting bullied. While everybody else making fun of that kid, you be the only one be like, I'll be your friend. Teaching him values, how to pray, how to believe in him. She took him and then brought him back. Things just start going downhill for me. Ended up losing my job, got back getting high, moved from one place to another place, had my house broken into and all this stuff. Wasn't crazy, I wasn't tripping. I knew what was going on. He wanted to see me. I didn't come pick him up because I was afraid. I should have stayed in the place I was at, but I didn't. I went to this other place, it was easy to get broke into. And I was afraid something was going to happen to him, or something was going to happen to me. He's there, or he witnessed me doing something, so I didn't bring him. But I was out here running the streets, selling drugs, getting high, just doing stuff. Finally got the windows fixed. Talked to him, explained to him the reason why I didn't come and get him. He was like, okay, Dad, I believe you. I want to come and see you. I was like, well, she always talking about she got errands to run. Then she was like, okay, well, she's sitting right next to him. He puts her on the phone. My mom, well, she's really right here. She heard the whole conversation. I was like, well, can you imagine? She's like, nah, I don't think that's a good idea because he's not safe. I was like, you heard the boy wanted to come. I just didn't. I was like, and we just been at it. Even compromising about Christmas. They would celebrate Christmas and stuff. I'm to the point like, hey, that's paganism, that's heathenism. No, that's against the Most High. I cannot do that. I was willing to compromise just to spend time with him. Nope. Now she allowed me to see him. Martin Luther King birthday. He didn't have school. She allowed me to see him that Sunday. He didn't want to go over his grandma's house and wanted me to stay with her. Like, she like, no, you're going to run my bill up. I said, we're going to be in this room. Ain't like I'm being your, you know. By this time, I'm homeless. Trying to find a place to lay my head every night. Every day, I was homeless. Jumping from couch to couch, sleeping on the street, you know, trying to find places to go. My family didn't want me. Nobody was there for me. Been abandoned, taken by my childhood trauma. And I went through all of this. I got mad. I did what Yahusha did. When he saw them selling, doing things in a place of worship. When he overturned the table, I overturned the table. I was angry. I was like, why every time something positive, when I do something with my son, when I want to be a positive, do things that a father should do for his sons, you deny me. You deny me, you deny me, you deny me. I got mad and overturned the table. She called the cops. Third time she smirked at me. That's the last time I seen her. Trying my best. Called, she wouldn't answer. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go take this paternity test. I want my parental rights. I don't care. I was gonna put myself on child support. That's how much I love him. I didn't want to be no deadbeat dad. I didn't want to be out here knowing I had a child and didn't want to be responsible. I didn't want that. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly because it was written in the scriptures. I heard these words and I backed it up with scripture. And I got convicted. So I decided to put myself on child support. Went to go take a paternity test. She went at 8:30 in the morning and mine was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Christmas or right before Christmas, I got the results. I don't celebrate Christmas. Got the results. I couldn't read it. That's how I was saying with my stepmom. That's a whole different story too. But she said, nah, it wasn't yours. It broke my heart and I got right back on drugs. I'm out there in the streets in the world wondering what the hell is going on. Come to find out I'm being gang stalked. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was out there. When I was out there, I was out there. Didn't know what was going on with me. I'm walking around the streets from Independence to Kansas City. Stopped in Taco Bell. The only way I can describe this scene is like the Terminator. Sarah Connor when she was in the club. And the Terminator came up. She looked up, but he had the gun pointed at her. Oh. I had 3 guns pointed on me. 3 guns pointed at me. Messing with women that I wasn't even equally yoked with, just wanted to be loved. Did some foul things and stuff like that. Her ride or die, best friend, whoever he is. I try to get her out my house, out my apartment. So I took like, hey man, y'all get this girl up out of here. I ain't gonna put my hands on this woman. But the whole time I'm telling her to get out, everybody telling her to get out. She texting this guy telling me I'm putting my hands on her. And I'm not putting my hands on this woman. The Most High sees all. I know better than that. And dude pulled up, walked up with the guns, pointed at me. I said, man, he's like, man, I don't care. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, bet. I wanted, but I knew deep inside, what you sow on this earth is what you reap. The girl lied. Lied, a bunch of mess and stuff like that and everything. Come to find out, man, I didn't know I was being gang stalked. I didn't know I was being lied upon. I didn't know I had people from all walks of life following me up and down the street, and I'm like intimidating me, and I'm not knowing what the hell is going on. Like, who is these people? Where did they come from? Why are they following me? Different cars and this and that, whatever. People walking up on me. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Went to Taco Bell one day. Sat down. This dude came up. Had like a machine gun or a street sweeper, whatever you want to call it. I don't believe in guns. I'm not really a violent person. I'm not a violent person. I could be, but I choose not to. This guy, black man, was right in front of me, about to get ready to gun me down inside a Taco Bell. And I said, this is how I'm going to die. I don't know, was it a Malakim, an angel, Secret Service? I don't know who it was. They said, nah, you're not dying today. Dude went out, and they chased this dude. That's when things started being revealed to me. Slowly but surely, I just cried out, gotta help me. I don't know what's going on. And when I tell you, he put his hand over my life, kept me covered. I never knew a love. I didn't know what was going on. Come to find out, I heard about this gang stalk. Then I come to find out, it's bigger than me. But when I say they dug a pit for me, and he saved me from the pit, he saved me from the pit. I'm forever. I'm so out to my Father. Because he saved me. He saved me. I didn't know why he saved me. I didn't understand it. I did so much good on this. I did wrong. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. I believe in helping people. I don't care what color they was. I love people. But the hatred and the wickedness is in this land, on this earth. Racism, bigotry, oppression, mass incarceration, murder, hate. The characteristics of Satan. Didn't realize I was in this spiritual battle. I didn't know who I was. The love of a father. How a father loved their children. When the whole world was against me, he loved me. I can't trust nobody. I couldn't trust nobody. I lived in fear my whole life. Fear was beaten into me as a kid. I did things I wasn't proud of because what the trauma I experienced as a kid. Living to get high. Getting high to live. Allowing people to come into my life because I just wanted to feel something that was missing. And the only thing that was missing was my Heavenly Father. My story is scripture. He had to work on me. And it built me. I had to go through the things I had to go through because I know who I am. And I'm his son. Let this be a testimony for somebody. He's the Father of us all. He loves us no matter what you've been through, no matter what you did in your life. You sow good, you reap good, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what the storms is in this life. A day above ground is a day of repenting, asking him to lead you in the right way, to have life, surrender to his will, his purpose for your life. He's the Father of us all. He hates factions. That's why I say he is the biggest gangster. Satan did the biggest deception, lying on my Father's name, his only name, lying on the Messiah's true name, man-made religion, wickedness, hatred, the characteristics of Satan is in people. Because of trauma, people don't want to heal. They hold on to these generational curses that's been passed down. The sins of the father passed down from generation to generation. And people don't heal from that because they don't speak out on it. I'm speaking out because it's the right thing to do. Not for validation, but for healing. And let this be an example to the people that's going through something. I know what you're going through. I know that the childhood trauma, the pain, being molested, making you do things in a sexual manner that no kid should be exposed to. I'm not ashamed to admit my faults, speak my truth, because I have to heal from these past traumas. For me to go forward, I close my heart on love, but that's not me because I'm loved. I give love. And I'm willing and ready and able to open up my heart to a kingdom love, a pure love that doesn't want to belittle me, look down on me, don't want to use me, abuse me. The type of love that lifts up, that supports, that's going to pour into me as much as I'm going to pour, regardless of friendship, family, in a relationship. I'm not seeking a relationship just to have, but I'm seeking for my kingdom spouse. Equally yoked, like-minded individuals that worship in spirit and truth, that obedient to his statutes, laws, and commandments, that puts him first. I seek wisdom, and I found wisdom. And wisdom is beautiful to me. I don't care where she at, what she has. I don't care about that. I care about her heart. Her heart is beautiful. Wisdom pour into me, understanding. It lifts me up. It brings me joy when I think about it. It makes me smile. It makes me go inside to search myself. Wisdom speaks life into me. And you know who you are. And I see you. And I hate what happened to you. I hate the things that coward did to you. Forgive me, Father. Because no man treats a woman, treats a queen the way they do. I thank you. I thank my Father for allowing you to do His will and speaking life into me, guiding me, strengthening me, pouring into me the things I've been searching for my whole life. And if you ever run across this message, my heart is always with you. I cherish you. I value you. I don't want nothing from you but just to spend my life with you, side by my side, to love you the right way, to build with you, to have a family with you, to raise your son. How you speak to me, and I know it's for me and only me. I receive it. I'm pouring out my heart, but I depend on Him. He got me. If He got me, I got you. He's our solid rock. He's our foundation. This is my confession. This is my testimony. I'm going for my dreams. Either I gotta do it big or don't do it at all. So I believe in putting everything out on the table. My flaws. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We are all grass. It rains on the just and the unjust alike. He pour His Spirit on who He chooses to pour His Spirit on. But I tell you one thing. You have a love that's pure. And if only you open your heart to receive a love that's pure also. I wish I could. I'm not speaking negative on my life. What He has for me is what He has for me, and I receive it, and I thank Him for it, and I know it's going to be. But this is dedicated to you. I love you. I fell in love with you the first time I seen your face and heard your voice. You spoke to my soul. You helped me face my demons. And maybe I still got a lot more. The things that was in me, you made me. You helped me face these things. And I thank my Father for you. You're beautiful to me. It's not your beauty on the inside means more to me than all the money on this earth. You cannot buy wisdom. You seek wisdom. You love wisdom. And this is how I feel. This is how I feel. And I'm not. And even if I'm not the one for you, just know that my heart is always with you because you deserve the best. We both do. And I know I'm that man for you. I will never hurt you. I will weather this storm with you. Just know you got somebody that supports you in all the things that you do that's going to value you. appreciate you for loving me in your own way. So, but let this be a lesson. You don't know who you entertaining on this earth. You never know who the Most High has on assignment. Touch not my anointing, do my prophets no harm. So I'm grateful for him that he allowed me to see another day, that he kept me from the pit that the enemies dug from me. Vengeance is his. I forgive. And this is not for validation. This is me speaking my truth. I'm not ashamed of it no more. I'm not ashamed of me speaking my truth. My Father's forgiven me. And not forgiving myself. So you had to take it up with him. I forgive you. But what he has for me, and what he's building with me, is only for me and those who I choose. That's it.
I think that was so big.
That's it. That's who I choose. How y'all doing? Wonderful. How y'all doing? Y'all have a wonderful day. See, when you spread love, you give love regardless. He's the father of us all. Family. This is what the world needs. Healing. That's why I said it's so important to heal yourself. Look within. The pain and the trauma. Break those generational curses. Be the first one in your family to break these generational curses. Family, the sins of the father goes down from generation to generation. So we have to be obedient to him. Your ancestors and your forefathers, you just don't know. You just don't know. History is going to repeat itself. But you know what? It is written. It is written. So, I had to speak my truth. I had to get it out. And if I got more to go, I'll be working on it too. It's a daily thing. It's a daily thing. But I know he has me, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful. So I hope this reaches somebody who's going through. I understand what you're going through. But you got to start loving yourself and start healing yourself. The battle is in your mind and your heart. The enemy attacks your mind. The enemy could be in your family, in your community, in your place of worship, on your job, in your school. Doesn't matter. This is how you start your healing journey. You gotta go within. Speak to someone. That's why if somebody, you never know, a kind word, a smile, just a simple acknowledgement, it goes a long way. And like I said, it's a healing journey. Sometimes you just gotta face your demons before you can move forward. I love you. I know my Father loves you. To my queen, I love you, and I thank my Father for you. You don't have to worry about nobody else. You can take your time. I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. But I made my decision. I made my choice. We can take it slow. However you want to do it, just know you have a man that loves you. And you have a man that loves your son. So, continue doing excellent work. I'm happy for you, and you deserve the best. Try my best. Do my best. One day at a time. But it takes a daily surrender. With all humility, with the gratefulness and thanksgiving in your heart. That's what it takes. So, keep pushing forward. If nobody tells you this, I'm telling you this. I love you. The Father loves you. He got his arms open wide. He just wants you to cry out to him. He knows your pain. He knows your suffering. He knows the heartache. He knows the lies and deception. He knows the thievery. He knows the past traumas. He knows it all. We just got to go to him and cry out. Cry out to him. That's the best thing you can do for your life. This is food for your soul. This is soul food. Spend time with him. He's waiting on you.